We have to have a lot more folks pressuring their lawmakers. We have to have a much bigger coalition if we are to make progress against the wealthy, powerful interests who so dominate our state politics. Hey y'all, Adam Keller here. Sorry I couldn't be with you live on Saturday, September 28th, but I'll be in Montgomery for the Alabama Arise annual meeting. Alabama Arise is a statewide, nonprofit, nonpartisan coalition fighting for public policies to improve the lives of Alabamians who are marginalized by poverty. The coalition includes over 1,700 individual members alongside some 150 or so member groups, including churches and faith-based groups, as well as other nonprofit and community groups, and a growing number of labor organizations. The annual meeting is the chance for member groups to present new issue proposals to the membership, who then vote on the annual agenda. This year, there won't be completely new issues to vote on, but rather ranking sub-priorities for each issue. The current agenda includes adequate state budgets for education, healthcare, childcare, and other human services, which includes leading the Hunger-Free Alabama Coalition, working on expanding universal school meals and summer EBT funding, as well as the Cover Alabama Coalition, leading the fight to expand Medicaid. As you may know, Alabama is one of only 10 states to not yet expand Medicaid. Tax reform is another permanent priority for Arise, including elimination of the regressive sales tax on groceries. Next is criminal justice reform, including legislation to reform punitive sentencing laws and to reduce the over-reliance on exorbitant fines and fees, as well as reforming, if not outright eliminating, the death penalty. Other priorities are voting rights, public transportation, and comprehensive maternal and infant health care investments. Now, all of these priorities impact all of us, though disproportionately poor and working class folks, especially racial minorities. Racial equity and worker power are two major elements to this agenda, which, if enacted, would, in my opinion, significantly improve the quality of life for everyday people in this state. Arise supports worker power by advancing these policies, which will reduce poverty and uplift working class folks. And they do that through policy analysis, statewide organizing, and citizen advocacy. Relying on the people power of membership, Arise is an important voice for working people in the state capital of Montgomery. While other states have big labor federations with political staff and other resources to advocate for labor in the state house, down here we are working with very limited resources in Alabama, which makes the work of Alabama Arise that much more important. All union members in this state should join Alabama Arise. Join the coalition. Let's join the forces of organized labor with the community coalition of Arise to build the kind of people power we need to win the kind of state we deserve. In this year's legislative session, Arise fought to toughen rather than weaken child labor laws. Arise was a leading voice in the ultimately unsuccessful fight to stop SB 231, the anti-union bill that strips state incentives from companies that voluntarily recognize unions. Arise is advocating for paid parental leave as a benefit for all educators and other state employees. And on the subject of public education, Arise is fighting for fully and equitably funded public schools and against harmful voucher and privatization schemes. In fact, while many education groups sadly remained officially neutral on the latest scheme known as the Choose Act, Arise stood strong and testified against it. And it isn't just legislatively that Arise is supporting labor. The State of Working Alabama, released in 2023, was a deep dive report into pay inequities and working conditions in Alabama's auto industry. No doubt this research has been helpful for the UAW, United Auto Workers, as they seek to organize auto workers here in the state. I'm proud to say that Arise is a union shop. When the staff organized with Communications Workers of America, CWA 3908, Arise leadership voluntarily recognized the union. Kudos to the leadership for not just practicing what they preach, but demonstrating to other employers that you don't have to fight your employees when they exercise their legal and human rights to organize collectively on the job. But despite this good work, we need to be bigger and stronger. While Arise generated thousands of legislative contacts this year, it wasn't enough to stop some really bad legislation. There were wins, such as securing funding for summer EBT in 2025, a federal program that keeps poor kids fed during the summer months when school isn't in session, and that's a huge victory. But listeners of this program are probably well aware of how bad the 2024 legislative session was for everyday people in Alabama.
Hey, 5 seconds, just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
We have to have many more folks engaged. We have to have a lot more folks pressuring their lawmakers. We have to have a much bigger coalition if we are to make progress against the wealthy, powerful interests who so dominate our state politics. Throughout my dozen or so years in politics and activism, I've been a proud member of Alabama Arise. I'm proud to say our North Alabama Area Labor Council is a member group. If you want to see this state move forward, if you want to see better policies for the majority of us who are poor and working folks, if you want to see people power that can push back against exploitation and greed and bigotry, then I encourage you to get involved with Alabama Arise. You can join as an individual with a donation of any amount, and then you'll not only be eligible to vote on the annual agenda, you'll be kept informed with the newsletter, daily digest, and more. Your organization, whether it's your union local or your labor council, church, retiree chapter, etc., they can join the coalition as a member group. You can follow Alabama Arise on social media and invite them to speak at your meetings. And of course, you can spread the word to your friends, family, coworkers, and the rest of your network. Workers' rights are human rights. Labor unions uplift workers and our communities. When labor works together with Arise, we can have a louder voice in Montgomery for working class Alabamians. Working together, we can fight for an Alabama where all people have resources and opportunities to reach their potential to live happy, productive lives. Go to alarise.org to find out more information and to join and get involved. All right, folks, as we're wrapping up here on the radio, just a few reminders and plugs for you. Don't forget, we will be on the air for overtime after we go off the air on the radio. That overtime is the second half of the program, of course. We got some good stuff lined up for you. Again, today's episode, a little different. Jacob and I are both out of town, so we had to do some pre-taped segments. We had to borrow some stuff this week. But we're really looking forward to next week. It's going to be a great episode. We've got so much to catch up on. We'll be reacting to the District 1 runoff election in Huntsville. We'll be talking about some of the latest news with UAW, the longshore strike potentially, and all sorts of other things. So definitely stay tuned next week. We'll be live back in the studio next Saturday. In the meantime, go to labornotes.org/events for free and low-cost trainings. I can't recommend it enough that you check out Labor Notes trainings. If you are a union member, or if you want to be a union member, go to labornotes.org/events. On October 1st, they have a workshop called What to Do When Your Union Breaks Your Heart. And that is a really good workshop. Unfortunately, it's one that you may have to attend at some point in your life. But we all run into setbacks in these journeys in our organizations, and it's important to know how to respond to those setbacks and how to actually, break through that and push forward. Speaking of Labor Notes, registration is live for the Alabama Troublemaker School on Saturday, October 19th in Birmingham. You do not want to miss this. If you are in driving distance of Birmingham, you should definitely check out the Alabama Troublemaker School. There's going to be some great panels, some great training, and some great networking. In 2022, we had over 120 folks that showed up from various states across the South, from all sorts of different unions and industries. And it was a great opportunity to, congregate fellow troublemakers here in the South who were trying to put the movement back in the labor movement. So again, Alabama Troublemaker School on Saturday, October 19th in Birmingham. You can go to labornotes.org/events to register. And don't forget to talk to your union local, talk to your president, talk to your labor council, see if y'all can send some people. If you have some room in your budget, your local should definitely send some folks to the Troublemaker School. It's going to be really great training, especially if you have any new stewards or new members who are looking to get engaged. Or if you've been a member for a while, but you just want to sharpen your skills, or maybe just meet some cool people, it will definitely be worth the cost of admission and worth your time. So if you're not on our email list at tvlr.fm, definitely sign up for that so you can stay up to date on the Valley Labor Report and our work to highlight the labor movement here in the Tennessee Valley and across the South. We do have 2 newsletters, Last Week in Southern Labor as well as Boss Watch. So you can get those in your inbox every week. Of course, you can check out our merch. We have some really cool merch out there on our shop, tvlr.fm. Again, check that out. You can, of course, give us a donation. We are a grassroots media project. We rely on donations and sponsorships to run this program, to pay for our radio time, our studio time, pay for the labor behind the scenes. So if you are so inclined, if you can donate, again, go to tvlr.fm. Would be much appreciated. You can leave us a voicemail throughout the week, 844-899-TVLR. That's 844-899-8857. Just call that number, leave us a voicemail throughout the week, and we may play it on the next episode. We really enjoy getting voicemails. And so if you have any thoughts you want to share about any of the things that we talked about today or things we didn't talk about today, but that's on your mind, feel free to give us a call. Leave us a message, 844-899-TVLR. And finally, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. That stuff really does help your engagement online, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or the podcast apps. It really does help. So, give us a 5-star review, like the stream, share the video, make sure you subscribe to our channels and our pages. All of that really does make a difference, and we really appreciate it. We are like 150 people away from 10,000 subscriptions on YouTube, which would be really cool to hit that number and break 10,000. So if you know any folks, or if you're listening and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely do that when you get a chance. So with all that, we'll be heading into overtime. Again, you can stay tuned online, and of course, find us as a podcast in a couple of days. Really appreciate everyone listening. Appreciate all your support. Thank you for believing in a stronger labor movement and a independent media to support this labor movement. All power to the workers. Solidarity, y'all.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.